We've just got done planting and videoing the planter that we've adapted to high clay soils and primarily for wet conditions in the spring. We get an idea of what the performance of the planter is in wheat straw, which currently is the heaviest residue that we have on the farm, and really by our standards this is not very much. We have planted soybeans into winter peas and wheat and vetch and measured that at 9,000 pounds of dry matter per acre. Got a stand and raised the county average here is about 38 bushels to the acre, and we hit that right on the money. And that was in 2012 when we had the extreme drought. And so our no-till plots with the heavy residues had the best yields on the farm, and we think that's of course a function of that heavy residue holding what moisture came during the summer and not allowing it to be evaporated and lost. So as we look down the row here, we can see that we've got just a lot of nice loose material that I dug out on top of these seeds, and the planter's only set for about 21,000 plants per acre, so it's pretty wide there, but you can see we've got really nice formation of a seed trench. We've got the side walls have been all shattered and been taken out, so there's a lot of room for that corn seedling to come up. The Ketons have done a really good job of putting that right down in the bottom of the seed trench. And then the geometry of this seed trench is created by a seed tube guard, an aftermarket guard that we've put in that really does a better job of creating a V with a flat bottom about the size of a corn kernel, so that it has a nice place to land, and the Ketons firm it in real good. So you can see that as we look back down the row here, it's like zero disturbance. It's minimal disturbance, and if you didn't know what you was looking for, you might even have a hard time finding rows out here in places, and that's kind of what we want, because we're not wanting to bury the weed seed as little as possible, and so the only tillage that we're getting is right here in the seed trench zone. And we don't have any no-till coulters out in front. We're just using a double disc opener, and that's the only thing that's really tilling that soil at all. And then of course we drop the seed. We come behind it with a Thompson closing wheel, which is kind of like a spike closing wheel. It's more of a blunt spike closing wheel. And then that's followed by a rolling basket that, especially in wet conditions, it does a good job of crumbling that soil, and where we might get a little slotting because of heavy clays, we see a little more dirt that filters back down in on top of the seed, and that gives us better seed to soil contact and gives us good germination. We're really happy with what's going on here. It's not a fail-proof system. You know, we can push the envelope, but it seems to me like when we get into stand problems, it's usually a function of soil temperature, because I can plant in June on extremely wet soils and get excellent stands, but then again the soil is probably close to 80 degrees or for sure above 70, where in April it may be 49 degrees or 50 degrees, so that has a lot to do.